Let me do a little bit of housekeeping here.
All right, no worries.
Look at this. All right, here we go. All right, and we are live, and I put the comments down here that I usually put. Welcome to the podcast, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another Deadhead podcast. I have my buddy Jan here, and we're glad to be back. We were supposed to be here last Friday or last Saturday? Was it Saturday?
Saturday.
Yeah, yeah. We're having some technical difficulties, and today I may have them as well. But the good thing about StreamYard is, and I was joking about it in Messenger, Jan, but I was kind of being serious that if I was to go out, my internet I just lose it. I will be gone, but the stream will still be running. So you have to carry it, my man.
All right. Well, it's a lot to carry on my shoulders, but I'll try.
Yeah, I mean that's it. It's not too bad right now. It was pretty bad about 20 minutes ago, and it's kind of calmed down. So maybe, but I know that this whole weekend is going to be soaked over here in Virginia. So I probably
Do
all
they
over
usually get bad?
Huh?
Do they usually get bad?
No. It's just like some kind of like I don't know, some kind of storm coming over from the west, and we're getting hit with a lot of rain right now. So I think this whole weekend we're pretty much going to get washed out. So really, if I'm still living and I'm still standing here, I made it through. So anyway, how's it going, man?
Well, last month was summer, so I'm kind of getting ready for getting back to the swing of things.
Damn,
but other than yeah, it does really, time really does fly, right?
Yeah.
But I've been busy, I played a bit of the Cuphead DLC, which I love. I actually subscribed to the, I don't know if you heard, but PlayStation Plus, they added new tiers. They're trying to turn it into Game Pass.
Yeah.
And I tried some of their new, they had a bunch of PlayStation 1 classics, Ape Escape, Resident Evil. Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, are they? Are those? Do you stream those or can you download them?
You can download those.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I mean, yeah.
The only ones you stream are some PS3 games, but not that I've been able to do it because so during summer I spend at my parents' house here in Croatia, and the Wi-Fi here is horrible, right? I cannot stream any game. Like my PlayStation actually tells me, dude, your Wi-Fi sucks. I'm not even gonna let you stream. Like it doesn't even give me a chance. So I don't even know how that looks, but I'll see when I go back to Italy.
Don't tell me you tried out that the cat game, Stray.
I'll have to disappoint you, Dylan. I did try it again.
I
played it a lot. I ran through it like 3 times.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
All right, well, talk about it. Well, what kept you coming? Because I don't get the appeal.
Well, all right. Well, I think that the mainstream appeal is, the cat. It really caters to like cat people.
Okay.
I mean, all like social media, all the gaming outlets, they only talk about that. About you can play as a cat and how cute it is, and how you can knock things off, and how you can press circle to meow or whatever. No, what I really like about it is the whole cyberpunk aesthetic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, you're in this world, right? Where humanity is extinct, and the only remaining trace of humanity are these robots, this kind of androids, which, from what I understand, they were supposed to be some sort of like slaves, or well, not really slaves, but like service robots, doing normal tasks. But after the extinction of humanity, it actually started to imitate humans. So they started making these little communities.
Right.
And I think it's really compelling. They made this really cute world, and exploring it's actually real fun.
Right. And I mean, I'm assuming since you're playing as you're playing as an actual cat. You're not playing as like a super powered cat that you can wield weapons. It's not like what's that game that came out for late PS4 and now it's on PS5? I think they're doing the PS5 update. What's it called? Biomutant? Is that what it is?
Where that is the one.
Yeah, so it's not like that.
Furry,
yeah, it's not like that. You're actually playing as a
you're a normal cat.
Okay.
You wouldn't even be able to communicate with the robots were it not for this companion you meet early on, which translates the robot language to you.
Okay.
But no, it's mostly like a puzzle game. You just you roam around, you find items, you
Yeah.
gather stuff. It's mostly like it's a really chill experience. The only
Hmm.
combat is really in the form of running away.
Right.
There's this
Yeah.
really cool thing. The main enemies are these. I think they're called Zergs. So the thing is, what they are. There's some really interesting lore, which they're supposed to be something created by humans. It was supposed to like combat the trash problem, the waste problem. Like they made
Right.
this. I don't know, this organism which was supposed to like eat up all the trash or whatever, right?
Right.
But what happened is after humanity died off, it was left unchecked and it mutated, and now it's this sort of, it turned into these monsters that just eat everything.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, see, and it's a lot of cute ideas. It's like it's not fantastic, right? A lot of people are
Yeah.
eating it up, but it kept me going. The music, the atmosphere is real nice. It has a lot of these little tidbits, and this thing that I just explained to you, the whole how the Zergs came to be, it's all stuff that's never really told explicitly to you. You gotta like find little pieces here and there, right? You gotta find.
Right.
So I guess you asked me what kept me coming back, and that's what it is. Uh,
Well, I didn't realize there was a lot. I mean, I'm sure. Like, look, that's gonna sound ignorant, right? I knew that it had more to it than you just weren't running around as a cat. I know that. I just, me personally, I just didn't have any interest from the game. I
mm,
think the game looks good. It's that futuristic setting, that cyberpunk setting. I really like that. I mean, I've told you I was pretty much like sucking off Cyberpunk 2077 last time we were on
hmm
here. I really enjoy that game, and a lot of it has to do with the environments and the setting. So I mean, if nothing else, the cat game got me excited for that. But I'm definitely not buying it. And I did, and just to piggyback off what you were talking about with the tier system, like the PlayStation Plus
hmm
tiers, I had the highest tier that you could get for, like, I don't know, maybe like a week or so, and I just didn't under really. I'm glad that I have kind of had like a free trial. No, maybe not a free trial. I think I paid like $5 extra to my actual plan just to try it out for like a week or something.
hmm
And I didn't really see much value into it myself, because I don't know how. I'm sure you're the same way. A lot of the stuff that's on PlayStation Plus I already own. Like, there's nothing like I could get it. Like,
hmm
if you didn't have a whole lot of games, like let's say you just got a PS5, a lot of children out there get a PS5 and mom and dad can't afford these $70 games, it totally makes sense. But for me, because I usually get whatever I'm interested in playing, it's nothing on there really I really wanted to play. I mean, this PS1 games sound pretty cool, but it's really, man, to be honest, it's really, really hard to go back to those games after playing what we got now.
Well, well, it is. I guess it's more of a mindset kind of thing. So
Yeah,
as
yeah.
I told you, I played a bit of Ape Escape, and dude,
Hmm.
so the game's great, but those controls, I don't know what were they thinking when they made a control scheme.
Yeah,
So so you move with a left stick, right?
right.
But you don't move the camera with the right stick. And I thought, okay, so you probably move it with the shoulder buttons, right? Because that's something
Right.
that all game used to do, right? With L1, you move it left, and
Right.
no,
Right.
it's not even that.
What the?
You move the camera with the fucking D-pad, and I don't
Right.
know what. And obviously, I never did that. What I ended up using was, these old games had like a button to like recenter the camera,
Hmm.
and that's mainly how I moved around, right? I would
Right.
just recenter the camera every 3 seconds.
Dude, that's I
Which,
tried. I was, talking about like shitty control. Well, not really shitty. It's just, controls have gotten better over time. But I did try
mhm.
out. I've been told for years to try out like Siphon Filter,
Oh
with,
no.
from Ben Studios, and I tried. I think it's the first one. I don't remember which one it was. I'm sure. I'm assuming it is. The graphics looked like, yeah, it looked like something I remember as a kid. But anyway, how the shooting was in that game was literally you got to hold down L2, and I think you got to hit square at the same time just to aim down the sights on any
Oh my
weapon you
god.
use. And that was just like throwing me off. And I tried it like once or twice, and I'll be honest, I didn't put a whole lot of time into it, because I did that, and I said I have enough frustrations in life. You know what I mean? Like, I just, you know, I
Mhm.
I don't want to fight with the controls, man. I think that's one reason why it's hard for me to go back. Now, like, if you're talking like, because like people say like PS3 games are outdated and stuff, and a lot of them are. But I can go back as far as that. That's not too bad. But I think anything older than that, it's difficult unless it's like a turn-based game like Final Fantasy 12 or like Final Fantasy 10 or like one of those games that
10
came out for
turn
PS2.
based.
Like you can that's not a problem.
Well, I think you really did do yourself a favor by picking Siphon Filter because
Hmm.
of all the entire catalog, right, that I have right now, which is pretty restricted. Siphon Filter is the one which, like, everyone on the internet just agrees has the worst and most outdated controls.
Hmm.
I didn't even try it because I heard so much about it, right?
Right.
I was like, okay, no. And besides, Siphon Filter, it's one of the games I've gone for the more, well, try to go to like a more realistic look. The characters are like, life sized,
Right.
and it's not cartoony, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look at Ape Escape, it's way more cartoony. It has like an anime art style, and I think that those graphics kind of age much better
Hmm.
because you can make something look as realistic as you want. In like
Right.
10 years' time, it's gonna be outdated. But yeah, go back to what you said. Um, I do. I don't know. I think I'm way more patient, I guess, and I do find it easier to go back to older games.
Right.
But I do think my limit, I think, is the PS2 era. Like I
Hmm.
can go as far back as that, and I
Yeah.
think it just comes down to which console generation you started with. At least for
Right.
me, because I had a PS2. So like those games, like even like graphically wise, like I realize they're outdated, but it
Hmm.
still look good for me, right?
Yeah.
I don't think, oh, this looks like shit. I don't know. I guess
No.
I was just so used to seeing them like that.
No.
And then you look at some PS1 games, and I can handle it, right? It's not like I'm abhorred by it, but still, I'm like, okay, this is what am I looking at, right?
Yeah.
Uh, but it's not that I cannot play older games. It's just that I need to kind of convince myself, like playing a
Yeah.
PS2 game is like playing any game, but
Yeah. I think you just like. I think my problem is, and I think a lot of people today is like you kind of become. I hate it. I hated being like when you were growing up, you had people calling you like a noob because you liked a specific thing, and I feel like if it sounds like a noob type thing to say, I mean, I guess because you get so used to like these like 1080p at the very least, but 4K visuals and the 60 FPS, and you get so used to that. I mean, I find myself now. I've never played on PC. I've never had a PC. It's something that I would like to eventually get. I bet I mean, come on, dude. You got to pay out the ass to get one that can support these games that are coming out right now. And the thing about it is like, which we can get on that conversation later. But anyway, it's a very expensive hobby. You know what I mean? And like
oh
for
yeah,
that kind of thing, I never thought about FPS or how a game ran or anything until I started really like watching these YouTube guys and then looking at it myself. Like I swear I went from like I had the Xbox One S before I got my Series X, and I'm putting them side by side. And like if you were looking at it, you might not even see a difference, but it's all about how it feels when you play. You know what I mean?
of
And
course, no,
I hate that. I hate that that's like the stigma now is like it's almost like I won't play a game if it runs like complete shit. And then when I was a kid, I didn't even think about that. You know what I mean? If I was having fun, I played it. But now because I've gotten older and I know what that is and I know how it feels, it's like, it's honestly like if a game in this day of age doesn't run at least a 60, it's like I can't play it. And I know that's got to sound bad, but
we got spoiled. No, no, I totally get it. Um, well, the thing is that I'm exactly like you, right? When I was a kid, even when I was like 14, 15, like people kept talking to me about, how I should play on PC, and I'm being like fucking, what do they call it? Console peasant or
uh,
whatever, right?
yeah, console elitist or something like that. Yeah. Mhm.
Console peasant, yeah, because I'm playing on fucking PlayStation or whatever, and I don't get those 30 frames, those 60 frames that I have to wait like 10 seconds more during load times or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Right, right.
It all sounds so silly and stupid, right? But
Mm,
then you actually get there, right? Because now I think with consoles now, at least right now, we are at a moment when we're not on par with PC, but we're like there. Like we passed that
Yeah.
They're borderline, right? We are getting
Yeah.
high frame rate. We are getting really fast load times, and now I kind of get it.
Yeah.
Right now, if I saw some guy, right, like now I'm like that when I see people playing on like the Switch,
Oh
which
God,
is like technically is like 2 generations behind,
dude, so bad.
and I'm like, God, bro, like this happens to me mostly like with when Nintendo acquires like the exclusivity for a game, and it makes me so upset because I know
Yeah.
that means that game is gonna be downgraded like to hell and back, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how much you know about the Shin Megami Tensei games. They're like these
Yeah. I've heard
RPG
of it.
games.
Yeah. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
heard of it. I haven't played it.
yeah, but last year the fifth installment came out. It was really sought after. Like the fourth installment came out like almost 10 years before,
Right.
so people were acclimating it, and like the fifth one comes out on Nintendo Switch,
Oh.
and like bro, like first off, like I don't have a Nintendo Switch, but it's not even that. I'm not even upset about that. I'm upset because as cool as they try to make it look, you can just see that it has like a bunch of drawbacks, right? They had to
Yeah.
cut a bunch of corners technically.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely see your point,
Yeah.
but
I was gonna
if there's
say.
no, yeah,
Oh,
what?
go ahead. I'm
And I was
sorry.
just
I
gonna
was.
say that if there are no alternatives, right? I can't.
Right.
I don't know. I guess I'm not that spoiled. Like I can go back. If there's a game that never got remastered and it's only in PS3 and PS2, you know what? Okay, I'll dust off my old consoles. I can
Well,
take it. I'll
yeah.
do it.
I think at that. I think at that point, you're definitely in the right. To go back on the Switch thing, I know it's gonna sound really bad, but I actually have two of them.
Oh
I
god.
have. I have one that I've had probably since release. I was actually one of those that was actually rather excited for it. I've never been a Nintendo guy, but I was like, oh man, that's pretty cool, man. Something on the go, you can hook it to your TV. Which that's I'm thinking to myself like, yeah, when I'm gonna play it on the TV. But I come to find out when I got it, I played it like way more in handheld. And but now I have the Switch right here to my right, and I mean it's just been sitting here underneath my monitor for ever. And I have another one that I take with me to work, and I got that one more recently because it was like a steal on it. And I feel like I had to get it. And
Mhm.
all right, this is gonna sound weird, but look, we like nerdy shit. So I'm just gonna I like Pokemon games, right? It's like a guilty pleasure, you know what I mean? Like they're not my favorite
Mhm.
games in the world, but they're a guilty pleasure. Like when they release one, I'll play through it, and I've done it for all of them thus far. And so that's really the main reason why I have a Switch. The Switch that I bought recently is the Switch OLED. But what's so shitty about that is that it's only like they only improved the screen. It still runs at 30 FPS. It's
Yep.
still they thought adding an Ethernet port to the console would make it like I guess have more value, I guess. But who the hell is playing online on the Switch?
Yeah,
Like who the fuck is
like
doing that?
like with a fucking Ethernet port, like the only people that I know that use that like a lot are like people that play fighting games.
Yeah,
And I really want to know who the fuck plays like Street Fighter Five on the Switch. Like I'm sure
right.
there's like like a huge community of people.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, you're right. Back when there are a bunch of exclusive games on the Switch. You kind of make me want to get it. And when I heard about the OLED model, I thought like back when they announced it, I was like, okay, so maybe this is like a sort of call. This is
yeah,
yeah, like a sign from above. It's a time to get a Switch. Like get the new get the new model. But
right.
then, just as you, I was super disappointed when I found out they only improved the screen. Like, are you absolutely kidding me? What?
Yeah, and the
As
screen
if,
looks and the screen looks beautiful, man. But it's not worth the extra. What is it like? I think it's 350, something
yeah,
like
I
that.
mean, but it's such a niche thing because
Yeah,
if you want, the games to look good, you'll just dock them to your television. So
that's right.
what am I exactly like? I cannot imagine there were so many people that just refuse to connect the Switch to their television, but still wanted a better screen image quality.
Yeah,
Like I cannot imagine there are so many people, and also like the Ethernet cable is the most ridiculous thing ever. Like, I could not believe it. I legit thought it
no,
was a joke. I was like, okay, who's gonna wake me up? Who's gonna
yeah, and they were
feed me?
actually
Because this is
they were
not
actually
real.
yeah, I know. And Nintendo was like proud of it. Yeah, we put an Ethernet cable on our console. I'm like, oh, good. Welcome to 2022. You fucking.
This is
It's
like
just
this is like this is like when with the PS4, I don't know if you remember, but the PS3, like the packaging did not come with an HDMI cable.
oh yeah,
So when the PS4 came out, they actually advertised that it came with an HDMI cable in
Oh yeah,
2013. Oh,
right.
great, good,
Oh, congratulations.
right?
And it
I'm
was like the
so happy
cheapest
with it.
one, and it was like the cheapest one you could get. Like that's one thing. Look, I'm probably more, I don't lean to either side, right? I feel like I'm more of a Sony guy, but like I
Hmm.
like I like the accessibility of Xbox. But I will say, right, PlayStation's packaging and what they put in with their consoles is pretty fucking bad. Like any like
It's embarrassing.
accessories they like. What was that little? I wish I had it. I swear I thought I had it somewhere on my desk, but it's like that cheap ass microphone that came with the PlayStation 4. It was like
Oh
one
my
little
god,
like
yes.
what the hell is that? I can go to Dollar Tree or whatever dollar store that's close to you and get something better than that piece of shit.
So, so what it was like a headphone, right? But
Yeah,
only
there's
for 1 year. For
there's one
one
little
year.
headphone.
For
One
what?
ear.
Like
It's
what? I
fucking bad,
cannot.
man.
Like as you said, like I. And what's best is they actually like advertise this kind of stuff. I can remember, um, for the first games that came out, they would like advertise the fact that you can like talk to the microphone. They had like some voice command. The PS4
Right,
had a voice command. They said,
right.
and you can use these voice commands with a really nifty uh, headphone package that we put in the box.
Right,
Like, they're so good. They're so
right.
charitable. Thank you, Sony. Thank you, Papa Sony.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. It was
but
it
that's
was
not
bad.
that's yeah, it's not even it. Also, whenever you buy, I don't know if this is. I've never been much of the Xbox side of things, so I
Right.
don't know if this is like common practice or not. But I find
Hmm.
it very, very stingy that they don't put a new USB cable when you buy a controller. Like they just give you the controller and they say in the box, "Oh, by the way, I hope you didn't lose the USB cable that you got with the console, because otherwise you're not hooking this fucker up."
It says it in like the small print on the back of the box. Oh yeah, by the way,
Yeah,
fuck you, buy a battery. Yeah,
exactly.
it's bad. Yeah, I will
Does the
say.
Xbox do that too?
Yeah, no, it's kind of wild they still sell their controllers so expensive because even like okay, so I'm gonna show you something. Okay, this is my
All
pride
right.
and joy right here. I actually have my Xbox Elite 2 controller. This Joker is
All
beautiful. Do
right.
you see that? It's
I
freaking
do see
beautiful.
that. Yeah,
Take
it
the
sucks as
sticks
fuck.
off. Yeah, dude, it's nice
Oh,
as
that's
hell.
so cool.
This is the best. Yeah, and it even has like the paddles on the back and all that stuff. So it's a
Yeah,
really
that's awesome.
nice, well
Hmm.
made controller. But do you know how much this Joker was? Over
How much?
here, over here, it was about $200. I don't know how much it is over there where you're at, but it was about $200.
200s?
$200. I saved up for it because I was like, I've always wanted a really nice controller for Xbox because otherwise you get this cheap shit. This like plasticky. It doesn't like. I like the way this controller looks. Right, it looks cool. I like it, but it feels like plasticky as hell. Like whenever you play games, it's like I have to like. If your hands are sweaty, this shit's flying out your hand. And I have a window right here. This shit's gone in the front yard.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Xbox is like what like really like I like the console. It's really nice and it's really like clean looking. I guess you could say, but
Hmm.
the controllers are ass. I mean, that's one thing. The Dual Sense might be my favorite controller that PlayStation has
Oh,
put
it's
out.
fucking great.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
right.
but I actually we did put my hands on an Xbox controller because my brother is like he's a PC master race,
Oh
whatever
God,
kind of
I
guy.
hate
Yeah, but
hate
besides
those
that,
guys.
yeah, let's not dwell into that. But he did get like an Xbox controller, right?
Yeah,
Because he still prefers the controllers. And I saw that thing, like I tried it on my hands, and I could not imagine ever enjoying a game, while playing that. Like the buttons are so, like the shoulder buttons, they fucking click.
yeah, they
Like
do.
it's
They're very
so
clicky.
cheap. It's yeah, it's
Yeah,
unbelievable. I cannot
yeah,
believe
yeah, dude. Like,
it.
here, I'll go get it again. Can you hear
Yeah,
that,
no,
dude?
it's like the
It's
cheap ass. I don't know if you remember in the PS2 era, everyone, and I mean everyone, had these knockoff, third brand controllers, right, for the PS2.
yeah,
So every time you went to a buddy's house, to play like a co-op game, they were gonna get the original controller they got with the box. You were getting the fucking shitty
oh yeah,
third brand knockoff one. which
Yeah.
didn't even have like the PlayStation buttons. It had like either numbers or some weird
Oh,
symbols. The
right.
Xbox controllers, the official Xbox controllers, remind me of those knockoff
Oh,
controllers. Like
wow. Damn, that's a
we're
pretty
basically there. Like I don't know, maybe I'm being too harsh, but like the
dude.
feeling is pretty much there, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't. I mean, you got to get. Look, you got to get a point. I'm not saying you're wrong. I mean, that's all comes down to preference, right? Like I told you, like I don't mind Xbox controller, but even I can sit here and say that the original one that comes with the console feels cheap as shit. It just does compared to what's like. I got even the PS4 controller, even the what is this? Is this a Dual Shot? Is that what
It's
it is?
DualShock 4, yeah.
Okay, even when you got one of these, by the way, this is like a really used controller that I got with the console sometime. But anyway, even with this, like the buttons are not clicky, everything feels good. When you go to the Xbox, everything it's just so loud. Like trying to play in the house when people are sleeping is like freaking impossible.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
What's even better is that when the PS5 came out, Sony said, okay, you need to play with the DualSense. Like you cannot
yeah,
use a DualShock 4 on the PS5 games. Well,
right.
Xbox said proudly, "Oh no, you can use your old controllers," and I bet there was no fanfare on that. People like Xbox fans were just aching. Please give us a new controller.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm saying. Like really, like if you're talking about like as of right now, who won as far as innovations alone, you got to give it the PlayStation because like when
Oh
I
yeah.
remember when I set up my PlayStation, like so I got the Series X first. Somehow or another, I was one of the very lucky ones. They able to get it. I got it like 2 weeks after release, the Series
Oh
X. I
nice.
found one online, and I was like, I barely had the money to give. I was like, man, I feel like I'm gonna lose my chance if I don't get it. So I went ahead and got it. And when I started it up, it felt exactly the same as what I had before. There felt like it wasn't really much of a difference at all. When I got the PlayStation, and I started just from that like opening sequence. First, you take it out the box, you hook it up to TV. It just felt new.
Yeah.
The whole like interface and just everything just felt like brand new and I felt like okay, well, we're finally like next gen. Xbox just didn't do that. It didn't have that same feel to me. Like I was excited I
Yeah.
had it. I was like, man, this is a powerful ass console. I can't wait to play games on it, but it did feel new. And I think that's why a lot of people. I think the demand for PS5 is so high because it actually feels like a new console. Well, I mean, look at it. It looks awesome. Like I changed. I don't know. I think you saw my picture, right? Did you see the new plates I put on my PS5?
I did. It's very nice.
I mean, dude, that's sick. I mean, it looks awesome. Like it like
Yeah.
stands out compared to
Yeah.
my Xbox. I have my PlayStation and my Xbox in the living room to the big TV, and it looks actually next gen compared to this rectangular. I don't know, mini PC, I guess you'd call it. It
Yeah.
just doesn't.
Yeah,
It just
the little fridge.
yeah, it looks like a little fridge. And by the way, I don't know if you've heard or anything, but I mean, I'm sure you have, but I think they say the Series X is like slightly more powerful. But I mean, like I say, if there's no games on the damn thing, so like, what is you know what I mean? What does that power
Yeah.
mean? You know?
God, this reminds me of they were saying the same things about the last gen ones, like Xbox One, is the Xbox One X or whatever. Like it was
Yeah,
stronger than the PS4 Pro. And I
right.
remember the conference when they revealed it. They said, "Okay, Xbox One X, the most powerful console in the world," which is by itself a pretty redundant statement. Like it's new, like it better be the most
Yeah,
powerful console in the world. Like,
yeah.
what the fuck do you mean? And then he had like this one moment when he went, I don't know, the guy, the MC, he said, "All right, now let's see what this beast can do." And they boot up Minecraft in 4K.
Oh
Like I
God,
could not believe it.
I can play that shit on my phone.
Right? What? But yeah, they said the same things about last gen. Like Xbox is like slightly more powerful, but it really doesn't amount to much.
You know, this conversation brings me to another topic I was actually thinking about all week. I wanted to ask you. So like with the whole thing with like God of War Ragnarok, right? Like these
Mhm.
couple new PlayStation exclusives that come out: Horizon Forbidden West, God of War Ragnarok, and I can't remember. I think there was another PlayStation exclusive that came out. Like Spider Man, Miles Morales.
Mhm.
How do you feel about like companies releasing games on both generations, like the new generation and the old generation, and how long should they go before they just completely forget the last gen, like PS4? They don't make games for PS4 anymore.
Well, my my opinion is going to become pretty irrelevant soon, I think, because we are already seeing the newer games. Spider-Man 2 is PS5 only.
Right.
Uh, I don't. It's not really a PS5 exclusive, but it's like a timed exclusive. The Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, PS5 only. So I
Mm-hmm.
think this what we have been seeing was just like a transitioning stage,
Right.
which is like, I mean, I guess all these games have started development on the PS4. Like they're not really PS5 games. They're PS4 games, and the PS5 versions are kind of enhancements. So yeah, I
Right.
don't know. I think it makes sense, and for the poor souls who did not get a PS5, it might even be
Right.
a blessing to be able to play them.
Right.
So yeah, I really don't see anything wrong with it, and it's not going to last. I think Ragnarok is really going to be the last one. I think.
Right. So
Uh,
you don't think that after God of War Ragnarok, you think that they probably shouldn't release too many more that are for both.
Yeah, I mean, like after at some point you want to start seeing, okay, what can the PS5 do, right? Because
Hmm.
what we're seeing now are just enhanced versions of PS4 games. We want to see what a real native PS5 game looks like. The only
Right.
ones we've seen really very few of them. Like the
Very
only
few.
game that is only on PS5 and like nowhere else, not on PC, not on Xbox, not a time exclusive, is the Demon Souls remake and Returnal. I
Returnal.
think
Yeah.
those are the only two games, which is
Yeah.
kind of, I mean, you kind of start, the Looney Tunes cartoons when the main characters do something really stupid, their face turns to a lollipop and it says sucker. I kind of
Right.
start feeling like that for buying this new console, but I really
Right.
could have been playing all these games on something else. But
Correct.
again,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
again, I
Right.
get it. I get it. It's transitioning period. Not many people could get their hands on the new consoles, but I think we had enough. I think okay,
Well,
let's.
let me ask you this. I mean, does it do you think that all right, so this is how I feel about it. I think that man, it's going to sound bad because I had the privilege to be able to buy both of them shortly after they released. I think I got my PS5 like 7 months after launch or something like that, which was pretty quick for
Uh,
me because I know that they were hard, especially they're even still hard to find anywhere. So I got
uh,
I got very lucky that I was able to get it off of GameStop. Actually, that's the thing. That's why I have like such
no,
like yeah, really like that's why like I actually have more like respect than other people with games because GameStop was like they had them. So anyway, but that's not the point. Do you think that someone is an asshole if they sit here and say that they should drop the old generation so we can start getting these new titles? And I know that that sounds kind of bad coming from somebody who has like me and you. We have the PS5, so we don't have
yeah.
this issue. But does that make someone an asshole for saying that? Because my thing is this: is that
What are we privileged?
yeah, right. Like, are we privileged? And two, it's like, okay, we bought the yeah, like you made a perfect statement. You said you feel like a sucker because it's like, well, I didn't really need to go out and spend five or like I got a bundle, right? So it took me a little bit longer to pay it because it was like, I mean, my bundle was like I think close to $800. It came with like
Oh
two
man,
games, extra controller. Yeah, it was. I had to break that one out a bit. It was an expensive purchase, but I was like, damn, it's the only way I could get it. So I'm like, I'm getting it, and I wanted it. But it's like you say. I mean, if I can sit here and play these newer games on the PS4. So what I'm saying to you is, does it make someone an asshole to sit here and say, hey, like this is what we need? We need companies to just really get release games for PS5, and it sucks that you don't have one, but that's kind of sucks for you. Do you think if someone's an asshole for sitting here saying the companies need to make games
okay.
for PS5?
Okay, if you asked me this 2 years ago, I would have said, yeah, they're being like a privileged asshole. But
Right,
today, no, because I mean, think about it. This is just the natural lifestyle of a console. How old is the
right,
PS4? It's almost 10 years old, dude.
dude.
Yeah, and you cannot. I believe, right, that you really cannot be mad that a company is not releasing more software for a 10-year-old device. I mean, I think consoles are like the machines with like the longest lifespan of them all. Like, think about phones; those things, like, they drop support over what, 6 months, a year
6
at
months, yeah.
best.
Right.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like, I think it had a pretty good run. I think the PS4 had a pretty good run. I don't think you can be upset if Sony decides, all right, we're gonna start focusing on PS5 now. Like,
Right.
so yeah, I don't think it's being an asshole at all. I think it's just being don't know, pragmatic. What do you call it?
Well, the only thing I'll say about that is it just like for me. All right, so I'll paint you a little picture. I haven't had a whole lot of time here lately. It's been busy between work. I've come home, just went right to sleep. Well, try to work out and then go to sleep. And but when I've had time, I've played through all of God of War again
Oh,
on
nice.
one of the hardest difficulties in the game. And I'm trying. I just completed the story, and I'm trying to go through and beat all the Valkyries because I didn't do that in my first playthrough. I don't know what was going on.
Mhm.
I think I beat like 5 of them, and then I just kind of I don't know. I don't know if I got to playing something else or whatever. So I'm playing it through there, and I've had a lot of fun. And the thing about it is because that story is so rich and not. I mean, it may arguably be it's right up there, top 5 for sure for me personally, and I think for most people, one of the best games ever made.
Mhm.
Um, and when I'm playing it, I'm like, I can feel like, and it sounds so like lame, so you can tell me, but I can feel it in me that I just cannot wait for the sequel. I can't, I
Right.
really like, all I care about really is the Last of Us remake. And I just want that to come out and then God of War Ragnarok and I'm good. Like really, like honestly, it's that exciting for me. But
Mhm.
when I think about the sequel and I think about what it could be, I'm always going to feel like the sequel is being held back because they tried to have it on both consoles, which I understand. You want to, I get it. As far as like a business move, keeping it on the PS4 too, it's probably good for business. I'm sure it is. You know what I mean? But at the same
Mhm.
time, think about what God of Ragnarok could be if it was just PS5 only. I mean, look, all right,
Oh yeah.
take a game like this. Take a game like this, right? I played through Ratchet and Clank, the newest one, and that was a PS5 exclusive. And I'm not
PS4.
normally like, I'm not like the newest Ratchet and Clank, the Rift and Time or
Oh,
whatever.
Rift Apart, you mean? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Rift Apart. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I played that whole thing, and that's normally not the type of games I play, but I actually really enjoyed it. And when you can see in the background like all this stuff moving, and you see like you're going through these different time rifts and things like that, and like instantly, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I say to myself like, okay, and I'm holding the controller in my hand, and I can feel, and they were advertising the haptics like really bad, and I'm sure we'll get games to take more control of that. But I'll be honest with you, right now, we haven't really got too many games that have the haptics like they're promising, right? Because they haven't really done a full on, like you say, a full on PS5 exclusive. But
That's right.
I'm sitting there playing Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart or whatever you said, and I'm thinking like, holy crap, like this feels next gen. I mean, this is a very goofy, cartoony game, but dude, it looks beautiful. Look at all the stuff that's going on, right? And I'm only imagining like, wow, think about when God of War comes out for PS5. Well, here we are. We're only a couple months away, and do I think it's going to be a masterpiece? Of course, it's got quality written all over it. But because it's going to be on PS5, I have my worries as far as what this game can really do. As far as story, I have no doubt in my mind. Like these people at Santa Monica Studios, they know how to make a story, right?
Mhm.
But I just when I think about what the game could be, I get a little worried, man. It's like, damn it, this is like the biggest PlayStation exclusive for me personally. And I know not everything revolves around me, but I don't know. I want something spectacular. And you know what? I might end up playing it in a couple months and think it's like the best thing ever, even though it's not a PS5 exclusive. But it just I don't know. When I think about what it could be, it kind of sucks.
I definitely get where you're coming from. I am not that invested in it. Of course, I can't wait to play it too. I love the 2018 reboot.
Yeah.
But I think that the biggest thing. So you mentioned the haptics. I think that those
Hmm.
can still be implemented because
Yeah.
it is being developed for a PS4, but the PS5 version is a different version. We have
Right.
already seen cases where the PS5 version had certain features that PS4 version didn't have. Think about Miles Morales.
Right.
That one had the trigger thing where like as you shoot the web, the trigger has some resistance whenever the
Right.
web hits something. So they can implement those. What I am worried about is that because it's being developed on PS4, it's going to have some really outdated antics. Like you said, you played God of War, right? The 2018
Hmm.
one. Has it occurred to you that when you fast travel, it's not really that fast because
Yeah.
instead of popping to where you want to go, you have to walk to that maze.
Yeah.
What that
Yeah.
really is just a hidden loading screen. which is
Yeah, yeah,
and a bunch
Mhm.
of PS4 games have this. I think and it's already outdated, where it doesn't, it promotes itself for not having loading screens, but it actually does. But what I do is they drag out certain sections. Like I don't know, you have
right,
to squeeze through like I don't know two really close walls, or you got to crawl somewhere. Anyway, you're doing something very slowly to give the console time to load all the assets.
right. Yeah,
And that's
that's a good
something
point.
that's something we will not see on PS5 anymore because we got fast loads. They don't need that kind of shit. But as you said, since this game kind of has to compromise, but it's also on PS4, I'm afraid we are gonna be seeing shit like that.
Yeah,
People will be just walking and walking. They're really doing anything, which is what we're really doing, just giving the PS4 time to load, but we don't need it, even though we're playing on PS5.
yeah.
That is what kind of yeah, that's something that really upsets me. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, no, I'm sure it'll still be I'm sure it'll still be a great game. And I mean, like I said, going back and playing 2018 is it's really gotten me excited for it, just to the scale that
Mhm.
it'll bring to the story and the world. I just, like I said, I just wish it had that PS5 flair. And like I said, the game will look fantastic, and I'm sure, with the frame rates and all that stuff, I'm sure the combat will still be super smooth. I mean, I know like playing 2018 God of War feels fantastic on the PS5. Like I mean, I don't know if you went back and played it or tried it out on PS5, but dude, it
Oh,
feels
I
next gen.
see. Yeah,
It
it's
feels
great.
next gen, man. It feels really really good, man. I can't really describe it to you other than the fact of it just yeah, it just feels, and it doesn't even have all the haptics, it doesn't have any of that kind of stuff that today's games would probably have or something. It's just a really really well put together game, man, and I have really high hopes for Ragnarok, and for it to be coming out on both consoles, I'm just scared it'll hold it back. So, but like you say, I think we're at the end of that, and that's why in a way, but like, and I feel like we bring up The Last of Us like in every in every stream,
The
because I know that's a special game for us. But I think that's why like I'm so excited for the remake,
remake.
because it's
Yep.
it's PS5 only, and it's going to have those the visuals and the physics and the stuff in the controller. Like I've played that game so many times, man. It doesn't even seem like it's a game I've played before. I'm genuinely excited. Like I'm not like I've played it before, man, but it's like it's just I'm glad to be getting a game that's PS5 only, and no one else can play it right now. I know it will be coming to PC eventually, but it gets
Yeah,
me
no.
excited.
I
Yeah,
think we're just most people probably call us fanboys, for liking that remake because it's a cash grab, it's whatever. But I'm totally with you on this one. I am really glad that I'll be able to play The Last of Us without all the hiccups that past generation games had. And it's gonna be like a whole new experience,
hmm
well, it's like all but new. I feel it's gonna be familiar, but at the same time exciting.
yeah,
Uh, so yeah, definitely, I can't wait to get the day one. Just burn at the whole thing, that whole
yeah,
sucker in one night.
and that's another thing too. I mean, how do you? So you would consider yourself a Sony guy then, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right. So I mean, how do you? I mean, now, so you don't have a PC, right? Your brother's the one who's the PC guy, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. I don't even live with my brother anymore, so I
Okay.
really don't have
Right,
any
right, right.
chances to.
So I mean, so like, how do you feel about these PlayStation exclusives going over to PC? Does that bother you in any way, or I mean, how do you feel about
Oh no. I mean, even though I say I'm a Sony guy, it's more of it's a thing of circumstance, right? I simply, Sony makes the games that I like, so
it?
I
Hmm.
play them. I'm not really into this fanboy culture where people,
Yeah,
just follow these companies as if they're gods or whatever, as if they're benefactors, giving them these great games. I'm like, no, all right. You keep shipping out the good games, I'll keep giving you money, and that's about it. That's as deep as it goes, right?
right.
uh, when I hear about exclusive games to PC, I'm fine with it. Like I don't. I think if anything, I'm glad. I'm glad because maybe I have a bunch of friends who are mostly on PC, and I
Hmm.
really cannot. You can't talk about these games that I like because they never got a chance to play them, and now they're finally
Right.
getting a chance to play them. And even outside of my own personal bubble, I think there's just a bunch of people who never played Marvel Spider-Man. We never played The Last of Us. We never played God of War. Well, now, yeah, because on PC. And I think those are really important games. I think they're really milestones in gaming that people
Yeah.
should experience. I think it's really fucked up how games have these limitations of who can play them based on their systems. Like imagine if it was like this with movies, like Joker comes out, or a really acclaimed movie, or like The Lighthouse. Yeah, but you cannot watch it because you do not have the right projector or whatever.
Right.
So I think that more availability is only good. If it makes you upset or feel bad, I think that you're the problem, dude. I don't think you should feel entitled to a certain game title just because you pledged allegiance to that console. I think that's really on you. I think that those are your demons. I don't.
Right. So console exclusivity doesn't really matter to you at all. So
Yeah, no, I keep playing on console because I just prefer it, right?
right.
Yeah, of course. At first, it may have been a choice with exclusives, but now, I might get a PC, but I just know that I'll play primarily on console because that's just what I dig the most.
So
And
if The Last of Us was on Xbox, you wouldn't care.
I wouldn't get it, and that is, and now I'm trying to look at it from that perspective, right? And imagine if I could have never played The Last of Us, So, and
Yeah.
that's why I'm glad that they're branching out. They're coming on PC. So at least there's some leverage. At least okay. As an example, this is gonna kind of shatter your view of me, but I never played
Right.
Halo. Okay, none of them. And I know they're considered these grand, masterpieces or whatever. These great hallmarks. Oh, you don't like them much?
Well, so like I don't. So all right, real quick, I'll let you finish your thoughts. I won't cut you off too much, but I'm one of those where it's okay. I played Halo Infinite. It was fine, and
Hmm.
that's about
What
it.
about the
Anyway, go
first
ahead.
ones?
I mean, I don't know, maybe for an hour each, maybe. I
Oh
played
God.
it and I didn't love the gunplay. I didn't like the combat. I thought it was
Hmm.
just slow. I just feel like it was very slow to me. I know, man. I'm telling you, this is if like eventually when I post this back on the YouTube channel and people go back and watch this one, I might even cut this up in a segment, this part of the segment. I can just see it now. Like
You
it's just
probably
like, oh
should.
man, you're a noob. You're oh man, maybe because you never fully gave it time. Yada yada yada. It's
Oh
just
no,
like it's
dude.
not.
Dude,
It's
they'll
not
lynch you.
like
They'll come at your door.
yeah, dude. It's like almost like one of the seven deadly sins to talk about
Oh
Halo.
yeah.
But look to me, and I'll say this and I'll let you finish. I feel like Gears of War is a way
It's
better
better.
series. I think it has a better story. I like the characters
Hmm.
better. Halo just, I think, and especially after 343, I think most people agree that after 343 took over the
Hmm.
rights for Halo, it hasn't really been the same. And I'll be honest with you, even before that, I just feel like it's an okay game. That's all I got for you. I mean, that's
All
it.
right. So to come back to what I was saying, yeah, I never
Yeah,
played
right,
Halo, right? And I never played your Gears of War. So
right.
now I'm thinking, what if I actually got to play them, right? And I ended up falling in love with them. I think, okay, this
Right.
is my favorite game ever. So I keep thinking about this stuff. Okay, what am I missing out? So when I hear about Sony doing these moves, shipping their games on PC, I feel like I don't know. This is like the best ending. This is the best outcome for everyone because
Hmm.
it leaves less people in doubt. Because the same way that I feel about Gears and Halo, I bet that a bunch of PC gamers feel about The Last of Us, right? So they're like, oh yeah, sure. I'm sure that game is great. I mean, I would love to play it, but but I just can't.
What does PC really have to play? I mean, you have to play our
Well,
sloppy seconds, man. I mean, it's not like they don't even have they don't even
well,
have if they got exclusive a little bitty like top down bullshit. Like they don't even have
well.
they don't have any of these heavy titles. I don't care. I'll fight anybody on that.
All right. Well, let's see our take on it. I actually kind of want to get well, not really like a huge gaming PC, but at least something because PC
Yeah, yeah.
does get because okay, they might be getting sloppy seconds on like Sony titles, but we're getting sloppy seconds on like indie games, really cool titles, I think, and usually they're like really butchered ports.
Hmm.
So so I would like to get a either a PC or at least a Steam Deck, something like
Yeah.
that. It's just because sometimes they are this little like niche of a really cute games I would really like to play, right? But I can't. One example is I don't know how much you know about the Persona franchise, but
Yeah.
it was like Persona 4 was like trapped on the PlayStation Vita, and then out of nowhere they ported it on PC. And
Oh.
well, now what? I either gotta dust off my PlayStation Vita because that's the only way I'm gonna play that. Now eventually it's coming. It's coming to consoles too. But imagine if it didn't.
Right.
Like imagine if I constantly have to live with the fact that I cannot play the most modern port of one of my favorite games.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I should go easy with those statements. It's one of my
Yeah.
favorite franchises for sure. I don't know if four is one of my favorite games. So.
Right. Yeah, and you make a good point. I mean, like if they have, I know that they can get like these really old ports, and I know they have like some of the best. I don't know if emulators like the best word to say. Like they have the best ports of, like these like old
Mm-hmm.
school games, like really really old school stuff. But and I would like one, dude. But they're so expensive. I don't know how much they are over there. I seen one. I went over to Best Buy a couple days ago, and I
Mm-hmm.
saw one. And see, I don't even look. I'll be honest with you, dude. Like when you go to buy one or whenever you do, I mean, we might have to link up, and you have to tell me what to look for because I have no idea what the hell to look for. Like I tried to look it up like online, and I don't know what any of this shit means. Like
It's a mess.
I don't want to pay like here. I don't want to pay like $2,000 for a machine, and then it's not any good. Like I don't know.
It's it's exactly the same here. Like yeah, you can like get these pre-made ones, but
Yeah,
everyone who knows anything about it will tell you that they're like shit, that you really should not. They're like a waste of cash. What you really have to do is build your own one. That's the only way.
yeah,
And that's the point where I just like every time that I thought of getting a PC, it's kind of this idea is in like a limbo to me because every time I want to get one, I get reminded of like all the shit I gotta go through, all the hoops, I have to jump across just to get this one fucking machine, right? Just so I can play fucking Persona. All I want to play Persona 4, dude. Why do you gotta put me through this?
like
And
you're building a goddamn spaceship. Like it's like not even
for real, dude. Like I told you, like my brother has a PC. So
mhm.
what happened is I would see his progress little by little. Every time I would come visit my parents' house where he lives, I would see this machine would like get exponentially more and more complex, right?
Okay.
And I was like that's really cool. I bet that if you're a tech whiz, if you're a tech guy, they can be really satisfying, right?
Right.
But here's the thing. I am a nerd, but I'm not that kind of nerd. I really don't give a shit about fans, CPUs, motherboards, what have you. I just
Yeah.
want the
Yeah.
fucking thing to run decently.
Right.
So yeah, which gives you the only thing you can do is either buy, the store bought ones, which according to everyone are shit, or you and this is real, you pay a guy to build you a PC.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
you commission that, and of course, not only do you have to pay him, you have to pay for the various components. And
Hmm.
there's like, I don't want to be a cynic. I believe in the good of man and mankind. I think there is good in everyone's hearts, but there's
Oh yeah.
absolutely no way that those guys are not ripping you off. There is no way that guy is like buying the most, like a cheap component, but telling you they actually bought the most expensive one. I do not believe that
Yeah. And
doesn't happen.
how would you know if he went cheap with it? How
Yeah,
would you know?
exactly. Because you're the fucking idiot, right? You're the fucking idiot who gets this in commission. He's
Hmm.
a tactist. He can do whatever he wants. Like he can give you like even now, my brother he has like one of those transparent boxes for his
Oh
PC,
yeah.
so I can see all the
Hmm.
components. Like you could dangle in front of me any one of those pieces of plastic, and you could tell me they're like the most advanced component for this specific kind of thing, and I would believe you. Because I really don't know. It might be a fucking piece of plastic, or it might be the latest innovation in
Right.
PC technology. I wouldn't know. And so yeah, that's why when the Steam Deck, was announced, I was super excited. I was like, okay, finally, something it's like a PC, but for idiots like myself, and it's a bargain deal. It's fantastic. But then I found out, that it's no better than the home consoles where you gotta
Yeah.
fucking wait in line to get them. Uh, and B, I found out the way I thought it worked is you have access to the entire Steam library. You download any game and you play it as if it were played on a PC. Not the best PC, but like a decent PC. But
Yeah.
it's not like that, from what I understood. Like I see a bunch of game trailers for for PC games, and they always say sometimes they say, okay, it's optimized for Steam Deck, and that kind of deflates my boner a bit because that means that what if a game
Right.
is not optimized for the Steam Deck? Does it not
Right.
work? Does it not work optimally? Because I thought, and I think I'm being ripped off. I thought that sucker could play anything, but obviously it
Yeah.
can't, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
such a hassle, honestly, and I
Yeah.
kind of get.
The way they advertise it, it was supposed to be like this. Yeah. Apparently it doesn't play much better than the home consoles. Which here's my deal about it. That's not really a gripe with me because I mean like I don't play much handheld at home. If I'm gonna play it, I'm gonna play it like if I go on vacation or something like that. So if I could play Red Dead 2 and 60 FPS on my Steam Deck away from the house, I mean, is it worth? How much is it? I know here it's like $500. I don't know how much it is
Uh,
every there.
yeah, but the prices are pretty much the same.
But I just don't know. I don't know if it's worth it.
Oh
You know,
yeah. Again, the only thing that I would use it for are for these very specific cases, and there's a game that it's like only on PC. But yeah, you're right. 500 green ones are not really worth it. Um, and I was kind of expecting that in a year or two you could find some a bit cheaper on eBay. But yeah, I was being a fool. I was being a deluded fool because I can't even get them. If I want to get them at the store, let alone on
mm,
fucking eBay, right?
yeah.
For a bargain price. So
So you're
yeah.
just to move away from PC for a second. So when you walk into a store, you still not seeing? Are you seeing Xboxes and PlayStations anywhere? I mean, are you seeing any new
Okay.
consoles out?
Okay. So I actually the thing that I'm doing is I only buy games online, and I'm doing
Okay.
this on purpose. I do not go on video game stores because I know that if I don't see like PlayStation and Xbox as the latest ones on shelves, I'm gonna get like super depressed. So
Okay.
I just never go in game stores. Just like
Well, I'm just saying,
uh,
like, if you go to like, I mean, if you just go into like
but
a
yeah,
Walmart or
they're not
something.
there. They're not there.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Like
I got you.
some have like boxes, right, to advertise. I don't know that they exist. I don't know what they're advertising because you walk up to them, you say I want a PlayStation, they laugh at your face.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah.
I know some stores like they like literally like customers have come and asked like the associate behind the counter, do they have them? And sometimes they have them and they just don't put them out. You kind of have to go ask for them. And I have seen that even where I'm at. It has happened. It's just very seldom. I mean, they just almost to the point like they're not even trying anymore to keep them in stores because I think the demand is just so high for either
Yeah.
one for Series X. I will say I do see a lot for. I see a lot of Series S's. I see a lot of
Mm.
those. I
Series S
think
is
that's
like the
like
smaller one, right?
yeah. It's the one that doesn't have a disc tray, which it sucks. I mean that
Mm.
just sucks to me. I mean like whatever. I mean like if you like, I see that's the thing. Like I think we went into this age of like you know digital everything, and I will say I've even succumbed to that. I've bought a lot of my stuff digital, but I'll be honest with you, with all of the bigger releases like Ragnarok, Last of Us Remake. Hell, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Even like Saints Row comes out on the 23rd, and I had pre-ordered it. I get all those stuff on hard copy, like all of it.
Well, same here. Yeah, no, I think it's a. I don't know why you do it, but for me, it's more of a collector's kind of thing.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just love seeing all those guys like on my shelf,
yeah,
and
yeah.
but I'm afraid that we're seeing the last of it. Uh,
Like we gotta try. We gotta try to hold on to it, man. I mean, whenever you. That's why, like honestly, like sometimes I feel like I spend too much money. Like just when I have a little extra. I mean, overall, we save and pay our bills and stuff. But sometimes if I have a little extra money, I buy stuff. But it's just most of it is just because eventually you won't be able to. I mean,
Yeah, that's
that's
right.
where we're headed. You know, it's just you won't be able to buy anything physical, and nothing will be truly yours anymore. I think that's why. Yeah, like if you buy a game online and you get a digital, yeah, it's yours, but it's not. You can't hold it in your hand, man. I mean,
Yeah, no. If it
I got a
gets
problem with
delisted
that.
from the store, it's that's it. Doesn't matter if you have the license or not. You cannot download that or stream it.
Hmm.
But I
Right.
don't know if you heard, but like I saw an article. I don't know how trustworthy it is, but pretty much said that 80% of like the this year's game purchases were all digital.
Oh
So
wow.
we're like, yeah, we're on the fucking 20% of people who still
Oh
buy physical, and that just depressed me. So yeah, you know it's over,
man.
right?
Yeah, dude. That's. I mean,
You,
if that's true, yeah, it's over. I mean, I give it maybe 2 more years, maybe. I mean,
well, this is
that's
definitely the last generation, right? There's no like the PS6 is not gonna have this tray, right?
if there even is a PS6, man. It's kind of crazy. Like we're kind of at that point, right? Like, and that we'll use this as kind of the last like topic before we close it on up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of interesting, like with how powerful these consoles are now. Like you said, we're not up to the level of these super high end PCs. But I mean, come fucking on. Like if they did that, we'd be paying about over $1,000 on a console
Oh
for
yeah.
just the console. If you got bundles out there, you're talking $2,000. And this isn't one of these little shits on like Facebook Marketplace and stuff that's selling their console for an astronomical price because barely anybody have them. No, like in stores, you're paying $2,000 for fucking consoles. You get what I'm saying? And at that point, it's like, it's like we talk about like what might be worth it to us might not be worth it to other people. If you're that into gaming, I'm sure, and I'm sure like as much as we're into it, we try to find a way to get them. But I mean, at the same time, bro, it's like I mean, you can't make these consoles as powerful as a PC. Now, with that being said, these
No, you
consoles
gotta
are pretty
compromise.
powerful. Right, right. These consoles are pretty powerful. The only thing they really need to do now is maybe put like I don't know. Can you make the load times any faster? I don't know. They're pretty fast, but maybe if nothing else, maybe somehow, and maybe again, we're nerds, but we're not tech nerds either. I don't know what it is they need to do to these consoles to make the frame rate faster, but maybe there's a way that we can run these next gen titles at higher than 60, maybe like 80, or maybe even to 100. Because I know that they could technically run to 120 FPS, but come on, dude,
Mm-hmm.
we're not getting God of War Ragnarok at 120 FPS. We're getting a
Oh
hard
no way.
60, and that's fine. But like that's the only way I could see this going, right? Is the PS5 and the Series X or whatever the hell they call it, the next one. Like I feel like these consoles, we're at the top here. Like at this point, you just add more things to it to make it more powerful. So like whenever they do a PS5 Pro or a whatever a Series YZ, whatever. I mean, who gives a shit? Anyway, whenever that one comes out, really all you're doing is just making it more powerful. I mean, how realistic is it for there to be a PS6 and then another Xbox?
Uh, well, I definitely agree with you there because, like, if you look at like the leap, in like technical quality and graphics and all that between like PS1 and PS2, like the leap is huge. PS2 and PS3 is still really noticeable.
Yeah,
PS3 and PS4, it's there. You just kind
yeah.
of have to look for it.
It's the
PS4 and
last big jump.
PS5,
Yeah,
yeah, the PS4 and PS5 though. I mean, you
yeah,
really there's. I mean, the fact that all these games are coming like on both systems kind of tells us there's really no. Yeah, we kind of reached the top. You said it
yeah.
best. But so yeah, I also wondered like, where else can we go? Um, and they probably, I'm afraid that what's going to happen is they're going to go the iPhone route, where they instead of like being able to build onto the base console, they just add like they change a little bit of it and they call it a PS6.
Oh man.
That's what I'm afraid. And you know what? I don't know how telling this is, but when the PS5 was announced, there was like huge problem in like some third world country. I don't remember which one, but basically someone already patented PS5 like as a trademark. Like one
Hmm.
guy, one fucking goofball, one wise guy, he
Right.
fucking did that. So Sony had to fucking bribe him like
Oh,
an incredible amount of money so that
holy
he would
shit.
like sell them the trademark to PS5, like the initials PS5. Yeah, so hats
Wow.
off to that. Yeah, hats off to that guy. So I don't know if it's I don't know if it's because of that, but soon after that, Sony patented the trademarks for PS6, 7, and 8. So,
Right.
I mean, they
Oh
clearly
shit.
are. So they kind of gives you the idea that it might have been, just a failsafe, in case we do a PS6, we do not want to have this kind of issue again.
Yeah. Right. Right.
But that gives you idea that they are considering the possibility, like it might
Hmm.
happen. And the fact that they already going, PS7, PS8, that sounds like iPhone marketing to me. That's to me that says yeah. So 1 year later, 1 year apart, you're getting the same thing, but I don't know. This time you get a better microphone on your DualSense. I don't know some.
Right.
You
Right.
get 2 HDMI ports. Like I don't know some shit like that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I just don't like you say. I mean, like, um, when I'm thinking of like the last few games that came out for PS4. I mean, you think about like Last of Us Part Two, Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding. Those are the ones that right off the top of my head. You look at like the realism and just how things look in those games, and it's like we're already there. We're peak like graphically at this point. I'm not saying they couldn't get better, right? I mean, this generation just started, so like you're talking like 2 more years from now, and I mean, I imagine Spider-Man, the level, the visual fidelity in that game alone will be just eye opening as far as like how realistic a game can look. I mean, you're thinking about like Wolverine, you're thinking about Hogwarts Legacy, which is supposed to drop either later this year, probably next year when you think about it,
Yeah, that's
and
not
things like
happening.
that. You don't think so? Yeah, that's a whole other topic. But when you think about these games, man, we're already there. We're graphically now at this point. It's just power, and I and
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
that like what you said about the jump from PS4 to PS5. Yeah, I mean it's almost like non-existent. Well, I wouldn't say non-existent. That's pretty strong. They look about the same, but you can tell. Like when I'm playing Spider-Man on PS4 and I'm playing on PS5, you look at Spider-Man's suit, and it's just if you pay attention to those details, it is night and day. But if
oh
you
yeah,
are looking at it from a
definitely. But
distance, well, if
mhm.
you're looking at it from a distance, you're like, you know,
Yeah, which version is that? Yeah, no, I completely agree. So go ahead. I was gonna say something, but I'm turning a blank here.
oh,
But
oh no, it's all good. I mean, I'm just saying, like, yeah, like you say. I mean, they probably, yeah, like you say, probably did like a fail safe. Yeah, we're not letting some dude just take our take our shit again. So we'll do PS6, PS7, PS8. Now you got to be the guy to go PS9.
PS9, exactly. You gotta believe, and of course, you gotta pass it out to your grandchildren, right? You gotta give it. This is
Yeah,
your this is your legacy.
just keep yeah, just keep it going, just stealing from Sony. Yeah, well, not stealing. I mean, they're stealing from
No,
you,
it's
trying. They got to pay
rightfully
you.
owned. Yeah, no.
Yeah, you
Um,
trademark it, but
yeah.
but yeah, it's not a whole lot of difference. And yeah, I just to me, you may be right about that. I don't know, I'm an iPhone guy, so I understand what you're saying, that phone to phone, there's not many changes. Maybe a bit faster, bigger
Mhm.
screen, and I could see them doing that with PlayStation as well. But you just it's hard to believe. Look, let's think about right now, right?
Mhm.
That if there's nothing else that anybody else doesn't get from this podcast tonight, and Jan, as always, I appreciate you coming on the show. If you don't get anything else on this show tonight, you need to understand the fact of we are ready, and maybe if Sony falls on this video, we are so ready for these true current, not even next gen anymore. These current gen games. We're tired of playing this
Mhm.
old ass shit. I understand you gotta please the masses, but man, fuck them. They gotta find a PlayStation eventually. Eventually, they'll be able to get one. And you know what? And let's just be nice about it, right? Let's not f them, right? You got to be pro consumer, and if you can't get one, I understand how that feels, right? I'm very sympathetic to that cause because I get it. Not everybody has the funds, not everybody has the stability to do that. So I would never make fun of somebody doing that. But look at it this way, right? If the company is focused on the PS5 alone when making games, that only gives you more to play when you get your console, man. That's how I would look at it. Like if I'm sitting
Exactly.
here playing PS4, and let's say they made another Uncharted, right? Maybe
Mhm.
they'll make one eventually. Let's say they make another Uncharted, it's PS5 only. That gives me something to look forward to. When I buy my console, man, look at all these games I can play that I couldn't play on PS4. That's how I would look at it. I really would, because
Exactly.
I've been that guy where I can't afford shit. I know, and I don't know how you were young growing up. but I got a feeling you're about the same way. Where when I was growing up, like whenever I got games, I never got games all year until Christmas, and I got to play those games for like a few months, or maybe even a few weeks rather. I finish them, and then I'll have shit to play until next Christmas. I mean, that's how it was in my house. We didn't have a lot of money growing up, so I understand there's a lot of
Mhm.
people out there like that now. But dude, if you can just wait it out, try to get a console, you can really appreciate these new games coming out. And damn it, like I said, like people like me and Jan, we're ready to see some powerful ass games, man. We're ready to see
Exactly.
like these like powerhouses. We want to see Santa Monica Studios put out freaking just these like. Look, I want to see CD Projekt Red come strong with The Witcher 4, man. I want to see
Yeah.
this shit in PS5, not PS4. I just don't want to see it, man. Sorry,
Show me what I
I
paid. No. Nice. You
yeah.
completely agree with you. Like, show me what I paid for, right? And
Oh,
honestly, what you said before about like having a bunch of stuff to play, as soon like you have something to look forward to, especially today. I think that like children today, like I don't want to go boomer, but I don't think that children
right.
today will ever have the experience we had. Because like
Oh,
today, you can like you have all these subscription services. You get a
dude.
shit ton of games for like dirt cheap. Pretty much, you pay the price of what one game, and you can play a
Yeah.
shit ton of games all year.
Right.
So you really have no excuse, right? So
No,
even when
no.
I remember when my parents I would like convince them, to buy me the new generation console, right? By the way, I would always get like at the end of its life cycle, right? I got,
Right.
um, but like I would get it. I'm grateful for that. Like I don't want to sound like an ungrateful bitch, but
Yeah, yeah, no, no.
what I was gonna say is like the argument they would always make is, oh man, you know what? You're gonna spend all this cash on the console, and then you're gonna buy the games too, right? Well, that's not an argument anymore. It's not.
No. Yeah.
So
Yeah, like we were. I wouldn't say I was bashing Xbox, but we were talking kind of down on Xbox before. But one thing you
mhm.
can say, and I know PlayStation's got the tier thing now, but Game Pass really. If I was
Yeah.
a kid growing up today, like with the amount of games on Game Pass, like see now, like again, we go back to the conversation of Game Pass doesn't do a whole lot for me, considering like I like to support the developer, and if I have the cash, I
Mhm.
usually just buy the game. But if I was a kid, I'm looking at Game Pass. I'm like, holy shit! Look at all this stuff I can play. And I mean, it is. It's like it's rows and rows of shit to play. If you haven't played
Yeah.
any of the Borderlands games, all of them on there. If you haven't played any of the Gears of War, on there. Halo, on there. I mean, everything. It has so much shit on there. I mean, actual like full on like open world, like not narrative. I mean, narrative for Xbox. You know what I mean? They don't do a whole lot of shit narratively, but there is some good stuff on there, man. And so if you're a kid, like I imagine when we have when we have kids and stuff like that, they'll if they get into gaming like us, they'll never run out of shit to play, and it'll be
Oh no
better for us
no
because it'll be better for us because we don't have to buy games.
no exactly, but you're completely right. So I mean, I honestly even today I cannot keep up. Like all these games, as you said, like the tier system in PlayStation is new, and I already cannot keep up. Like even with this very small, what do you call it, this small list of games they have too much that I'm generally interested in. They have all the Jack games, they have all the Yakuza games. They're games that I generally want to play, but I just don't have the time to play them all, right?
Yeah,
They have only
yeah.
new releases and the shit that I already bought, even outside of the subscription. So yeah, I think your hands are full. I completely agree with you. Like
Yeah.
we won't have excuses. Like when our children ask for a new console, there's not a lot we can do. We just gotta
Yeah.
you gotta
Just get your
submit.
you just gotta get your hand on a console and then pay $1 for Game Pass. Which, like I said, it's kind of crazy. And I know, like I said, I kind of want to wrap this up, so I don't want to go too much detail. But it's kind of
Mhm.
crazy that how stream. I wouldn't say it's not streaming service, but how these things like Game Pass make money. Like especially with there's people literally paying $1 a month for Game Pass, and I
Oh
mean
my
obviously
god.
like I know a lot of the games on Game Pass are a little bit older here, but they're well worth more than $1, and it's like it's
Definitely.
nuts. Like how are they making money off of it? And here's the next thing I'll say: it's how they making money off of it, and two, like a lot of the games that are coming to Game Pass like this year. I don't know if you watched the Microsoft Xbox showcase, But if you look at a lot of the games that they were showing, these games look like they were made by two people. They look like a bunch of indie games, and I'm not bashing indie games. I'm sure there's some great ones out there, but all of them look like indie games. And I think I know why,
Yeah.
right? When you only pay $1 for Game Pass, they're not putting these AAA titles. If Xbox had any, right? They're not going to put
Mhm.
these AAA
Mhm.
titles on there. They're not going to do that. I mean, I heard that I know there's stuff going on in like the Ukraine right now. I think they're the developers that are working on Stalker 2. They're fighting over there, so they kind of had to halt development on Stalker 2. That's coming to Game Pass, and that's a pretty big release. But other than that, man, it's like all this other shit. It looks like I can play this shit on my phone. You know, it just it's no. I mean, I think that's serious, man. Shit, look, there's like there's one game, and it looks funny. I probably will try it. I'm not even gonna lie. Um, it's a first person shooter, and I'm kind of tired of playing those. I'm not even gonna lie to you, but
What did you say it was
there's
called?
one. I can't remember. I can't remember what it's called. It's got like this. All your guns can talk to you. Have you seen that
Oh,
trailer? Where it's like
I
your guns are like these weird little creature things, and they can talk
oh
to
god,
you.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
and it looks ridiculous, but I'm gonna play it because it's like it's interesting enough. I'm gonna try
Yeah,
it, but
of
it's
course.
like, but I mean, like, I think I just answered my own question. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it real quick before we close, but I understand now. I think that how do they make any money? They probably don't. Hence why they got to
You
put this
don't.
bullshit on there.
No, definitely. Yeah, I kind of ask myself that too. Like, I don't have an Xbox or the Game Pass, so I don't know what kind of games are on there. But I
Right.
know that you get way more than your money's worth, right? You get like a
Yeah.
bunch of AAA games. You gotta ask yourself with the AAA games. I even kind of I sort of get it because I know that with those games, it's like kind of like movies. Like they get most of their revenue in like like a month after release, and then the rest of it
Right.
is like I don't know, fucking penny pinching or whatever.
Right.
But then there's these indie games. That's what I'm worried about. Like these indie developers, where they're really squeezing all their budget to making this one game, and how much are they getting for it? I don't think they're getting anything,
Yeah.
right? There's no
Yeah.
way. I mean, they're probably getting like a partnership, with Microsoft. They give part of the money, but I
Yeah.
cannot imagine a world where that's beneficial to them. I think they're mostly
No.
forced to do it for the publicity or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Like they put like Halo Infinite on Game Pass like day one. Now I did my job as an honest consumer, right? I was actually pretty hyped for Halo Infinite because I like the gameplay. I know
Hmm.
it was getting made fun of about the visuals and all that. It's really not a bad game. It's actually
What
pretty fun.
for the
I
monkey?
went
Yeah.
out. I went out. I went out and bought me an actual. Actually, I think I have it. Hold on. Oh yeah, here we go.
Let's see.
Got it
Oh,
right
there it
here.
is.
Oh shit, let me go over here. Yep, it's a steelbook edition too. Hold on, let me see. I haven't opened it at all. I haven't even opened it because you could get it. Oh, let me get a better lighting
Fun
there.
game.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
But
very good.
but it
Can I
had
ask you something?
yeah,
Do you okay? So this is one thing. As much as I respect Halo for everything, I think that
right,
its game covers, like the
right,
covers, are the
right,
ugliest thing, like the most uninspired, unoriginal, most boring covers I've ever seen for any game.
right.
So like I would have never done this thing that you just did. Because like sometimes if I'm ever gonna buy, be an honest consumer, as you said, buy something that I can get for free digitally, at least it has to look nice on my shelf. So I gotta
Right.
ask you, do you like that cover? Because for me,
uh,
that's like a screenshot of the
okay.
game.
So what I'll say is I like this cover. I like
Mm,
this one.
explain that to
But
me.
well, I mean, it looks cool. I like the backdrop. I like the whatever the
Uh,
hell's going on back here.
all
I,
right.
I like I like the picture. Okay, so all right, truthfully, I do like this cover. I mean, you might not. I just he looks badass right here. I just
All right.
I
I can
I
respect
got
that. It just
this.
looks like a default stance. It looks like they just pulled the game model. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. No. No. I mean, no. I get what you're saying. It's not like, yeah, it's not like flashy, but I'm one of those like, get something. If I can play it digitally, I play it digitally, and I'm one of those don't open it physically kind of guys. And this
Hmm.
is this is a collector's edition, so I was like, okay, cool. It's not like my favorite one. Like, I don't know if you've seen. So I bought Far Cry 6, and I wish I had it in here. I'd show you. I bought Far Cry 6 Special Edition because I was really hyped for the game because the villain in it is the villain in Breaking Bad, and I love Breaking Bad. I love that whole series, and I was like, oh, that's
the
awesome.
actor. What's he called?
Giancarlo
Yeah.
Esposito, yeah, his Anton Castillo in the game, and
Mhm.
I was really excited about it. So I was like, dude, I got to get the special edition. So I got it, and it's a steelbook, and on the steelbook, on the front of it, it has like a shot of his face on the front, and on the back, it has his son Diego, and I thought that was a really cool like
Oh,
steelbook.
I'm
And next
seeing it.
time,
I'm seeing it. Yeah, it's pretty
yeah.
good.
Yeah, next time, yeah. I was gonna say next time we're on the show, I'd show it, but yeah, you can look it up. Yeah, it's pretty cool, and I like steelbooks when I get them. I also have one for Dying Light, and I have that. I have that one. I think I posted a couple pictures on my Facebook, but it's of Dying Light 2. I bought the steelbook edition for that as well, and yeah, I just like them, dude. If they're available and
Mhm.
they're affordable, like this was, and this is gonna sound bad, but this was just a $60 purchase for the steelbook.
That's
So I
really
don't know
good,
if that's a
actually.
good thing or a bad thing because a lot of times that means that it sucks, you know. And I think the general feeling about Halo Infinite is that it sucks, but the story is not bad. So like if you give it a try, I don't think you'll hate it.
Well, one day I'll try all the Halo games.
Yeah.
Because you know how I do things. I gotta start from the first one. Like,
Mm.
whether we talking games, movies, books, like I cannot start with like the fifth entry. I gotta go all the way back.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. You know what we can do sometime? Like once I'm back home, right after summer, we could like do like a sort of a video game collection tour.
Yeah.
That would be pretty good. Interesting, if
Yeah.
you ask me.
That'd be cool. Like like I think it'd be cool to have like full on like you know, because we have segments, but we kind of go from one to the other. But if we had more of a one show that was like centered on something
Hmm.
specific, you know, going a little bit more detail about it. If
Yeah,
we
like a
have
theme.
like have an actual theme for it, and I'm all on board. I told you through Messenger. I told you on here, man. Like I'm open. Look, I'm really trying to take this kind of stuff seriously. I enjoy doing it. I have a good time. I just need to be motivated to do it, and that's what's made me feel good. And I hope you guys that are watching enjoy having Jan on as much as I do as a as a recurring guest. About to make this dude a co-host that way he can help me out with all these damn social media stuff. That shit is getting kind of monotonous.
Oh,
I mean,
believe you.
dude, it's like, and like I say, I don't want to keep us too long. I'm having fun talking to you, man. I wasn't trying to be on here super long, but I'm having a good time.
It
Um,
always happens, yeah.
yeah, dude, it's like I wasn't planning to, but like talking to you, man. I love talking to you and having you on the show, dude. And so, but anyway, what I'm saying is like it's the social media part of it is like the most difficult to me. Like the making the videos is not bad. Like I'm trying to get better. I just made a video on the channel. I don't know how much you are into horror movies, and if you are, we got to definitely do a horror movie one. If you're not, that's okay. I'm actually trying to, talk with a few people to get them on the show sometime, horror channels and things like that. But I put a video talking about the original Carrie from 1976,
Hmm.
and I was really proud of that video. I put a lot of time into it, and I've been getting some pretty decent feedback, and I really that's all I just want this channel to be collaborative. That's
That's
why I told
awesome, dude. Yeah.
if there's if there's anything at all you want to do a video on or a podcast on or whatever, I'm all for it because I think that putting two creative minds or a couple creative minds together to really make something is really it's a lot of fun. But this social media shit is kind of
It's draining, yeah.
it's hard to keep up with because I'm trying to like okay, so I'll give you a prime example. It's like 30
Hmm.
minutes before the show starts, and I have the link to, and I think I told you this. I have something called Linktree where you click on the link and it has like all of our social media, has a YouTube channel and all that stuff. And I'm trying to go through and make posts on every single one of them saying, hey, podcasts in 30 minutes. Hey, podcast in 30 minutes. And I'm trying to put the tag on, stay dead, my friends, and trying to do all this stuff to, try to promote the channel and
Hmm.
the Facebook fan page and all that. And it's just gotten like, I mean, don't realize it's not like super hard. It's not like backbreaking, but it's like one of those things like you have to stay on top of it. Your phone doesn't want to act right half the time when you're trying to do it. So I have to do pretty much everything from my Mac computer over here, and it can get a little. I wouldn't say I don't know. Annoying might be a strong, maybe a little bit strenuous because trying to keep up with it all. Because I got the Twitter set up, the Instagrams, and I forgot there's something else. Oh, the Facebook fan page, and then
Facebook,
my
yeah.
own stuff. It's a lot. It's a lot, man.
Mhm.
I'm about to
I
start
bet.
tossing you.
I bet.
I'm about to start tossing you like $5 to $10 just so you can handle that shit.
Well, okay, well, you don't gotta toss money at me, but I can definitely help you out if you want. If I'm gonna co-host this thing, right? If I'm gonna be like this way recurring guest, I have no problem with it.
Shit.
Take
Well,
this thing
shit.
seriously, as you said.
Yeah. Yeah. Shit. I mean, you might be getting promoted, so you can handle it.
Would well, I mean, it's pretty much actually it's kind of I have like this part-time job now where pretty much what I do is this. I manage this is there's like a little newspaper, right,
Oh
that I
shit.
work for, and what I do is just I upload a bunch of the articles like on their site, and then I promote them, on social media, on Facebook, on
Oh wow.
Instagram. So it's really not that far from what I'm doing right now. So yeah, if that job is open, that I'm interested in it. I have I have my CV here that kind of proves that I'm kind of that I'm right for it. So
Right. Well, how would you? I mean, like, yeah, you. I mean, you probably wouldn't be getting paid as much, man. I mean, were you willing to do that
well,
shit for free?
I'm doing I'm definitely doing it for free, dude. This is actually I'm having fun with this podcast. I think it deserves a bit of work from me.
Oh, shit. Well, thank you,
Yes,
brother.
sir.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's been good. Definitely in part because of you, man. It's been fun, and like I said, it's like I said, like I was telling you before the podcast. I mean, I was like, I'm tired, but like I said, I was gonna get off of here early so I can get to sit on the couch, and I do plan to do that. But just talking to you is fun, dude. And like I said, we'll do more stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, if you're being serious about me more involved, man, I'm definitely all for it, dude. Like I said, I mean, hell, like I said, if we just shared the social media shit, I'd be like, all right, I'll take that. You know what I mean? But it's like
Yeah,
having all this shit, like just trying to be like, hey, podcast tonight, hey, podcast. It's like, and I'm trying to like, not make it the post kind of boring. You know what I mean? I'm trying to use a good picture and
hmm
fonts and shit. And I'm gonna tell you right now, dude. Like, I don't know how if you've ever tried like recording like videos and things like that. I've always done videos where, I've always done it kind of. I wouldn't say the lazy way. It's just because of the stuff that I've had available to me. I've always done videos where I just talk in front of a camera, and I've always thought I was, trying to be charismatic guy. But
hmm
I knew that if I wanted to kind of keep doing this thing and like doing the videos on the side with the podcast, is that I wanted to try to like do more editing. So I've been trying to get into that. I feel like I've done better.
hmm
But it's man, that's a job in of itself, man. You do a video, the recording the video is the easy part. Like you can talk for 20 or
Right.
30 minutes, no problem. But then you got to chop that shit up. And then if you're talking about a game, you got to find gameplay that either you recorded or you got it off of YouTube. And then you got to be careful not to get copyrighted.
Right. I always
And
gotta
and
credit
because
the author. Yeah.
yeah. Like okay. Obviously, look, I don't care. I'll put my business out. It's not like any money's being made on the channel, right? I'm doing this all for fun. I'm not even thinking about money, right? I'm doing it because I just have a good time doing it. But I don't like it when my videos get copyrighted. I still don't. I don't like it when
Mm.
any videos, even if you post videos on it, like I told you, which I told you that that's something that I'm 100% cool with. Even if you post videos, I don't like it when they get copyrighted. So you got to go through like, all right, I made a Halloween Ends trailer. Again, I don't know how much you are in horror movies. I'm a pretty big horror guy,
Mhm.
but I did a teaser reaction for the new Michael Myers trailer, and
Right.
I'm really proud of that breakdown. I had like the trailer on screen, and I was kind of going through and talking about each scene and what I liked about it. And they copyrighted me because for like 30 seconds it played like the like the actual theme
Oh, that's
for Michael
shitty,
Myers.
dude.
And I'm like,
Not
what
even
the
for the
fuck?
trailer.
Yeah, it's bullshit, dude. It's absolute
That's
bullshit.
horrible.
But I will say this. I'll say this, and then I'll let you talk for a few minutes about whatever. But what I'll say is, I did find out that if you go on YouTube, and this is just maybe you already know this, so you might call me stupid for not knowing this, but if you find a video, let's say for instance, I put Halloween teaser trailer on YouTube. If I go to the video that has, so when you click on a YouTube video, at the bottom of the video, it has like the actual name of the movie and who directed the movie and all that stuff. If you find a
Yeah.
video on YouTube of like, let's say I put Halloween teaser trailer and I find one that's not licensed by like an actual movie company or something like that, if I put that video in my video, we're fine. But if I put the
Mm.
one that's licensed, I'll get copyrighted every time. And I think that's such bullshit. I had to find that out the hard way.
Well, it sort of makes sense, I guess, right? I don't know. The fact that it has
Yeah,
that kind of tag makes it more official.
yeah, right, yeah.
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 But
So it's really just it's really just the tag that makes it of any kind of like merit. So if I do that, it immediately gets copyrighted. I'm like, man, that's such bullshit. Because I like you see all these YouTubers that do that who put like videos inside their videos, and it's like, how are you guys doing that and not getting copyrighted? The only way I can think of is they're doing that. They're finding videos that are not officially licensed.
probably, or I don't know if it's again their own footage. That's like the only thing that I can think of.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, well, I don't know. I appreciate you laying me the floor for a bit, but I'm actually kind of I got to dip. I
right.
think it's pretty late here, so but I did have fun, and yeah, we should
Yeah,
definitely talk about all the specifics of what we just discussed, and
yeah.
yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. We'll talk about it and go in a little bit more detail. I know we're just kind of just spitballing right now, but yeah, no. As always, man, I want you to know I truly appreciate you coming on the show and being a part of it and wanting to grow with and to be a bigger part. And I can see the potential, and I'm glad to have you on board, man. It sucks, man. You live so far away, dude. It's nuts that it's like you live so far away, but you're the most available guy that I've ever like had on anything. You know what I mean? So it's really cool that you've been part of it, man. And I appreciate you as always coming on.
Definitely enjoyed it. Well, you know what? I've been kind of thinking about this, but long term, if we make this work, it might be actually a good thing that I'm so far away because we kind of can. Uh, what's the word I'm looking for? We can cater. We cater to both worlds, right? Kind of your place, my place. I don't know. Yeah, just a
Mhm.
thought. Just a thought. Like if we have this podcast at a time that's like acceptable for both your time zone and my time zone, we
Yeah.
can have audience from both places. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just a thought that I had.
Oh no, shoot. Honestly, man, that's a good point. Anyway, like I said, we'll talk more about it later. Like, I get what you're saying. No,
All
no,
right.
that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. But anyway, thank you guys for watching this week's podcast. Would you mind leaving a like on the video, subbing to the YouTube channel, going to the fan page, and yeah, we'll be back with more podcasts and videos soon. Jan will be back, and yeah, stay dead, my friends, and we'll talk to you guys later.
See ya,
And
guys.
let me end it.